Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I hope all of you are doing well and all of you are blessed in Christ Jesus. It's still Happy New Year. We are still enjoying this wonderful time, this wonderful period that God has blessed us with. Today we are here again, wanted to share a wonderful story with you. Last Thursday, it was a blessing. So if maybe you were on the previous edition and then you are still joining us, I want you to put in the comment section one key thing that blessed you during the last episode. I have an entire note. I have it here. I'm going to share with all of you because whilst I was hosting and still listening to whatever that Uncle Ben was sharing with us, it was actually blessing me as well. So, guys, I want to say thank you so much, and then thank you once again, and welcome to the second edition of the Study Abroad Stories of Hope with the one and only Uncle Ben. It was a wonderful session. So, I'm just going to share with you briefly some of the things that we learned last time. So, in the other episode, Uncle Ben shared with us his struggling beginning. I decided to actually put it like that. I had to consider that word because I know about the grace factor that was part of the entire journey. So he actually shared with us his struggling beginning, and number two, how dreams can actually evolve, right? From a pilot getting to being a doctor. Chemistry wasn't good at some point in time. We had to, change the dream again. Now look at him practicing communications. He is currently now the editor at the United Nations headquartered at New York, that is USA. How did he start from Oahu in the Volta region, getting down to pursue his, let me say, ICT or computing at the University of Ghana, happened to go and further at University of Glasgow in the United Kingdom. And now he is in the US. But currently, this man is not in the US. He's enjoying the mother air. He's enjoying the motherland. So we're going to have a wonderful time today trying to, learn a lot about Uncle Ben again. He's going to be teaching us. Guys, so if you have any questions, please try to be putting them in the comment section as soon as you can so that we have enough time to try to answer most of your questions. We're going to be learning a lot. Somebody who was struggling in English, at a point, one key thing he said was that a prophecy came, but he didn't see himself as a candidate for that prophecy. But listen, grace was able to make him a candidate for that. That is one key thing that I picked from the entire session. You may not be a candidate for the prophecy, but listen, grace, and that is Jesus who became truth and grace for us. He can make you a candidate for that beautiful story you never imagined. So we are here again, and then we're going to get into this beautiful conversation today. Without much ado, I'm going to bring him on board, and then we kickstart this wonderful conversation. So with a round of applause in the entire auditorium, I want to have on the stage with me this afternoon, this morning, this evening, depending on where you're streaming from, the man known as Ben Dotsei Malor. Good evening to you, sir, from where you are streaming from.
I see that.
How are you doing, sir?
I am doing great. If there is a delay, if there's a delay on the line, is because I flew here from New York to Accra, and I arrived here Monday afternoon.
Whoa!
So that I was able to attend the inauguration of President John Dramani Mahama. Was it just yesterday?
Yes. No, this was the 7th. Tuesday. Yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah.
So it feels like yesterday. It was a momentous event. So I am reaching out to you from Accra, from a part of Accra called Batsona. And I just want to be grateful. I want to be grateful first to Almighty God that we are all alive into the first few days of 2025. Everyone here, McRae and I will not take you for granted, your time. We respect you. We respect your time. If we say something that is off, just know that we are coming from a place of love, faith, and gratitude. So separate the wheat from the chaff, whatever we say. Let God use us to speak beyond our words. Let the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in His sight, so that we can be a blessing. Greetings from Accra, and happy, blessed, wonderful New Year to everyone.
Thank you so much, Uncle Ben. Once again, I hope Ghana. How is the temperature right now? Is he okay? How are you feeling?
My brother, I was sweating profusely just before. I've had to use kitchen towel to wipe away lots of sweat. But you know what? I would rather be sweating in Accra than be freezing cold in New York, which I was a few days ago. So home is home. At least the electricity is on. The fan and other things are working. But there is a lot of work for us to do. Those of us in the diaspora, God has an assignment for us back home, whether in Ghana, whether in Nigeria, whether in Zambia, Kenya, Uganda. We have work to do, and only we can do that work.
Yes. Thank you once again, Uncle Ben, for joining me to be a blessing to many of the followers and your followers inclusive, and also many subscribers that we have. They are here just waiting to be inspired, waiting for us to share this moment or the stories of hope with them. I received a couple of text messages from some of our subscribers during the last session that, listen, guys, when you're coming to Ghana, and then you're heading to these local communities wanting to, we spoke about this career guidance policy thing that we wanted to begin by the grace of God. After the show, people were reaching out that, McRae, I want to volunteer. I want to be part of the team. Whatever it needs, we need people at the grounds to help us work. I want to be part of the team. I want to be part of the team. And I was just thinking about it that, these are people who equally, they understand what that God wants us to begin, or God wants to use us to do. And so I'm here just looking back and just say, thank you, God, that we have even people who are already willing just to be part of this great thing. So, Uncle, I've sent you the policy already. I think we can't wait just to kickstart. We can't wait just to kickstart. So I think just to let the people know that in our conversation, we've selected one particular school already just to begin with. In the due course, we will have the announcement that is out. If anybody who wants to be part of the team, whatever that we want you to do, we'll also let you know, so that you can be a blessing to this many young, beautiful hearts, beautiful souls that are attending these high schools. Because we said we're going to do junior and the secondary, right, Uncle? Yeah. So that you don't want, maybe you want to study abroad, you don't come here trying to do a lot of prerequisite courses, spending a lot of money. Meanwhile, you were just trying to find your way around, and then you spend a lot of money. We don't want that to happen. So, Uncle, thank you so much. So we will begin our conversation today, starting from University of Ghana, trying to further your education at University of Glasgow in the United Kingdom. How were you able to even find this university for yourself?
Thank you again, and thank you to everyone. The move from the University of Ghana to Glasgow University, let me put it this way. I finished University of Ghana, again, by some grace of God. For those who are not Ghanaians, there is a portion where you finish university, the nation expects you to do national service.
Correct.
Basically, we are saying that the government, the nation has spent on you, spend 1 year, 2 years working almost like a volunteer, not on a full salary, in an establishment where you are sort of giving back. In my case, when I finished University of Ghana, I can't tell exactly how it happened, but I got retained by the University of Ghana.
Oh, okay.
I kept on campus as a national service personnel. I can only ascribe it to the grace of God, because there were many of us who did computer science and statistics combined. Somehow I found myself being kept on campus, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Other people find jobs in maybe other establishments. I was working at the University of Ghana under Professor Akila Kwasoya, Vice Chancellor. And then the University of Ghana, when you are doing your national service, would try and give you a scholarship to do further studies in the hope that you go study more then you come back and give back, whether you go and do a master's or a PhD. So for me, towards the end of my first year in Legon, I got given this scholarship. I won't tell you that I was really, really fighting for this scholarship. The fact is, either by the fact that I was doing computer science and statistics, computer science was really emerging very fast. I went to the board that gives University of Ghana scholarships, and then I just tried. And I understood at that time that usually it's people who are in their second year of national service who go for this. But I went in my first year, and again, thank God, among all the other people who applied, I got selected.
Wow.
So there I was with one more year of national service to go, but I already had a scholarship under my belt. I just had to find the school. Please, this is the lesson. Even at that point, I needed a sister or a brother who could give me not just information, but career guidance.
Okay.
Say, oh, okay, this is what you studied. Number two, this is the scholarship University of Ghana, Legon is giving you. What would you like to do? And then we would look at 2-3 options. And then they would say, you know what? I've studied in the UK and I've studied in the US. I think I have these 2 or 3 sisters or brothers who can guide you to find the best school where you can use the University of Ghana scholarship to do something. In the end, I was struggling myself. I found a master's program at the University of Bath in the UK for statistics.
Okay.
But I to do things that are practical, not dry things. So, and then I found Glasgow information technology, which I felt would be a direct application of computer science. So I ditched the master's degree in statistics in the University of Bath, and I went for IT. That time, IT was the freshest phrase coined by anybody on earth.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what information technology was. And I went to Glasgow University by the grace of God. I did well at the university, again, using the University of Ghana scholarship. I did well that there was a professor in the computer science department who felt I should continue and do a PhD. So I said, look, I've just been given scholarship for masters. And I think he took upon himself, he did 2 things. Professor Allison, if I remember his name right, he was Professor Allison. He wrote to University of Ghana to say, look, I am vouching for this guy. He's done well in his masters. I want him to continue and for the next 2, 3, maximum 4 years, get a PhD. So when he wrote, Legon, by principle, wrote back to Professor Allison at the University of Glasgow to say, thank you, Professor. We are delighted to hear that he has not failed. He's done well enough for you to think of him as a PhD candidate. But we don't have the funds now. We will need him to come back. So we organize ourselves and find the money for him to do a PhD. And then number 2, guess what this Professor Allison did? Again, it has to be some grace of God, because many of us studied IT at that time. Why would he fight and write to Legon for them to send a scholarship so I could continue and do a PhD? And then basically, this is the long and short of it. Professor Allison decided, whilst waiting for University of Ghana to decide whether they will sponsor my PhD or not, he got me onto a project at the University of Glasgow.
Oh, okay.
I was like a systems analyst. And I was working on this project, looking at the Soviet Union leadership, how we should computerize a system that will make it easy for anybody to go on search for them. And so I started receiving salaries from the University of Glasgow. And when I wasn't working on this project, I was a teaching assistant in the computer lab, helping new students about how to use these Apple computers we had and all that. So that was the journey from the University of Ghana to the University of Glasgow. And I hope I have summarized well enough.
Yeah. So it means that you never thought of applying to a school in the United States of America. All your mind was, or all your chances were basked in just one container. Like, I just want to go to UK. You never tried applying to any school in the US.
That is the truth, and it was a horrible misconception. Two things. When I was growing up, even from Qatar Secondary School through Mauli to other places, there was this pervading notion that American education was soft and not strong.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me give you an example. They will say, oh, the British system is tough. You have to go through and come out tough. These Americans, they just do multiple choice questions. I mean, if they're doing multiple choice questions, they have it easy. They are not fully baked, kind of. So you get that notion, number one. Number two, because the United Kingdom was the colonial power over Ghana. We just felt everything UK is the place. Many of the lecturers we know went to universities in the UK. We didn't see many lecturers from the US who could tell us whatever you think about the United Kingdom, Great Britain.
Yeah,
there are better opportunities in the US. And I'm telling you now that I look back now and I feel cheated because I wish someone had sat me down and said, Ben, come to the library. Forget about Glasgow University. It's a good place. The UK is good, but the US will open more doors for you.
Correct.
Right? Again, this is where I talk about career guidance or valuable information, timely information, I would say opportunistic information that will help shape your decisions in the best possible ways. And I didn't know at the time, so I didn't even pursue schools in the US. I just felt the UK, by the way, they will tell you that America is far away. The UK is just 6 hours. Heathrow is just 6 hours flight away. So all those things play on your mind. So instead of shifting your focus to say, look, America could have better opportunities, we start with the UK system, and we thought that was what we needed.
This is just interesting because I believe that if you had started or come to the US, even pursuing your PhD, who knows, you would have gotten a fully funded program to even pursue here. I mean, maybe statistics or the IT thing that you were actually doing. But then again, the information wasn't available. Wow.
Maybe I would have become the first African super billionaire from tech.
Oh, okay.
With Bill Gates and we need, look, all I'm saying is if you're desiring to succeed in life about something, there is a saying in Ghana, in Nigeria, follow who know road.
Yeah.
Follow somebody who has done it and is willing, generous, and compassionate enough to say, don't go through the struggles to do the research I have done. You want to be a pilot? Here are the 4 steps that you can never fail from. That way you bring people's dreams closer by just showing them what they desire to do. It's not just doable, but you are putting them on the first 2 steps to achieve that. I would love for you and I to be in a position where 5 years from now, one sister from Bunkurugu or Mamprusi or from Akradi or Tamale or Keta will say, look, I had an idea, but it took real shape when Brother McRae Soga told me, oh, this is what you want. Okay, here is the way. And this way you will not fail. You will stumble a few times, but you will definitely get to where you want to go to. You will work hard. It doesn't mean you will have it easy. You are going to work hard. Hard work is required. Persistence, commitment, dedication, and good studies. But I can show you the path. I have done the path, or I am a pilot. There are 3 ways you can be a pilot. Come, let's explore the 3 ways.
It will be a blessing. Uncle, before I get to asking you how, I don't know if you remember, but how your visa processing, your interview, how things went in the past, what advice could you give to somebody who is just stuck there, thinking that, well, Uncle Ben was able to further his education just because University of Ghana was able to give him some sort of support, some sort of scholarship. But here am I. And I don't know if you still remember, during the last edition, one lady said that somebody told her that for her to proceed to further her education, she needs to be financially sound before she can make any step. I'm like, okay, where from that sort of notion? I came to the US with no scholarship. With no scholarship. It was until I got to the US that the doors began to open for me. So imagine if I had stayed in Ghana thinking that, okay, I'm not going to travel to further my education until I have this scholarship. I'll probably be in Ghana by now. So what advice would you give to somebody who is just sitting down? Probably this person even got admission to a school, but the family member told this person that, well, our family before you travel, you probably need to get to the age of 40. I mean, it's like a curse that is on there. What advice would you give to somebody or speak to a youth, particularly that is just sitting there aloof, waiting for an information to make a decision? What advice can you share with that fellow right now?
First of all, it's a lie from the pit of hell if somebody is telling you now that the reason you can't further your education abroad and return to Ghana with whatever skills to build Ghana, to build Africa. It's a big lie. It's a very, very big lie. Number two, I have one of our brothers who got a scholarship to go and do his master's at Ohio University.
Okay.
His name is John Akweda. John Akweda would tell you, and he said this to me, listen to this. Money is no longer a problem. If you are desiring to do further studies, to improve yourself, to acquire more knowledge, so that you can be of greater benefit than you currently are, this brother just told me straight in the face, and I'm sharing this with everybody, money for scholarship is no longer a problem. If you really pay attention to these brothers and sisters who have been through this, no matter where you are in the world right now or watching us, there is a tried and tested path you can use to find admission to a good school in the United States for your master's. Number two, to find a program where you can earn a scholarship and be able to study abroad. John Akweda, who is now doing his PhD somewhere in Florida, says money is no longer a problem for any African, any Ghanaian desiring to do their masters in the USA. If you follow a certain path, you should be able to earn a scholarship to a good university and gain admission to a good course, and you should surely be able to get the scholarship. The question is where you go to look for that information, which is where, McRae, your program here provides a platform to cut through the chase. Sometimes we try 1, 2, 3 things, we get frustrated. No, you have to persist, you have to persevere, and you have to just be strong in purpose about this. There is a clear, proven track you can use, especially if you have a good GPA score. You should be able to come to the States. You and I can find links to put under this program to make things easier and more direct with anyone.
Correct.
I know one of our sisters called Lois Dotsei. She did her PhD in some aspect of engineering, some technical thing. And she's always trying to make it easier. Okay, we are not saying it's going to be less of a hassle, to make it easier for people to find the path to get their masters done, their PhDs done. There are more opportunities today than ever before. And there are more ways and means to get these things done than ever before. A visa is not going to stop you from achieving your dream. Have it in your mind. And once you conceive it, you believe it, you're going to be able to deliver it.
Yeah. So, Uncle, how do you get up from your fall? How do you do it? Maybe there's sometimes, maybe somebody got denied a visa once and it's like, okay, that's it. I'm done with all this hassle. How do you think I can get up on my feet? Because this self-motivation that we talk about, in actual speaking, the fact is that it's not a lot of people who know how to practice it. There are people who they can just give up. Last time I had an interview with one of my Nigerian brothers who is actually here. He got denied a visa 4 good times. He got this persistent sort of spirit. It's like, no matter what the situation is, my dream is to get to the US to study. He got denied the first one, got denied again the second time, the third, until the fourth time. But it's not everybody who has that sort of spirit to engage or to keep on engaging, to keep on hitting the wall until you break through. How do you think people like that can survive? Just briefly.
I have this saying to encapsulate what I would say. You are not a failure until and unless you give up and stop trying. Let me say this again. I am not a failure at anything unless and until I give up trying or I stop trying. And I'm paraphrasing something that our late brother Komla Dumont said. I have a video on my Facebook page where Komla made this point himself. Komla was going to be a medical doctor. He was in the 4th year of medical school. And then things started falling apart around him. His Nigerian lecturers, who have a high regard for Ghanaians, Komla told me they will come and say, Komla, but Ghanaians never fail exams. Nigerian medical professors at the University of Jos were telling Komla, and Komla himself told me this. It's like they were not prepared to accept failure from him. Anyway, Komla came home, and again, lesson number 2, this is where the dreams evolve. Komla, though he didn't complete medical school to become the medical doctor, he became the most accomplished, the most recognized broadcaster and journalist of our time, not just from Ghana, but from the whole of Africa.
May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace.
I'm packaging 2 lessons. How do you keep on? And again, there is something that happens to me when every day I boost my faith. I have faith through what I read in the Bible, faith in the stories that say that the stone that the builders rejected
has become the cornerstone.
They rejected the stone for a good reason, and yet still that stone ends up being the chief cornerstone. There is a purpose for every one of us, you and me. There is a purpose. God has a plan for you and me. We just need to keep going. So I will say this, that you don't give up, you don't fail, or you are not a failure unless and until you stop trying. Why? Because 2 days ago, I was in a place 2 days ago where what I'm telling you now was a reality. John Dramani Mahama, president of Ghana, lost elections in December 2016. It was a shocker. Some of the people he brought along and built up, some turned against him. Some blamed him for the failure. So 2016, he lost. 2020, 4 years later, he's still thinking, I am not a failure until and unless I try again. Meanwhile, try again, there were opponents from his own party who were saying it's not good to go again. Even 2 days ago, the 7th of January 2025, this man who was written off by many people, this man whose successor said he would not hand over power to, was at the Independence Square, Black Star Square in Ghana. This man who some people vowed, some people claimed they saw prophecies, he will never become president again. This man made history. He's the first Ghanaian president who would lose elections and bounce back. I'm not saying this, whether you are NDC, whatever political, just look at the lessons here, right? Of this man who, you can say even his own people turned against him. It's like David, they turned against him. You made us to lose these elections. Ghana is in a mess now because you didn't do this. But he's bounced back with a record-breaking voter turnout and accomplishment. And I'm just using this as an example for myself. Whether you are his party member or not, I'm just giving you a lesson. You will never be a victim. You will never be a loser. You will never be a failure unless you yourself choose to try. So what I would say to anybody is you have to keep on trying. And there is a saying that says, fall 7 times and rise 8.
Yeah.
Fall 7 times and rise 8. Every time you fall, you know your course is righteous. This desire you have, this dream you have for yourself, your family, for Ghana, or for the world, that you want to be super rich or successful, not just for your own selfish ends, and you believe in that cause, right? And I talk about faith. This is where faith comes in. And I tell my friends in church, faith is not to deny that something is of this color, or this pen is of a certain color. Oh, no. I don't believe this color is this pen. No. Faith does not deny facts. Faith defies. It defies the facts. The facts are there. The doctors have told you certain things are wrong with you. You don't challenge the doctors. What they have seen is factual. But something about faith moves you and moves me. That is, if we are prepared to put our faith forward. Some people say, oh, put your best foot forward. I would rather put my faith forward than look. I want to help these millions of people. I don't have the money, but in some crazy way, I believe God will make a way. Right?
Yeah.
And I have this faith. And when I talk my faith talk, my friends around me can say that guy is a dreamer, but I am determined that there will be one day, there will be one day a Ghanaian goes to study in North Dakota. Is that where you are, or you're in South Dakota?
South. I'm in the South.
Dakota, anyhow. Ghanaian goes to study in South Dakota, and they couldn't wait for the last day of school to run away from the snow back to Accra. Conditions in Accra are so good, America is no longer attractive for you to want to live in America. I am believing God for that day when we finish whatever we are doing, where people are asking us to come to America. We say, no, take your visa. We don't need your visa. You come and visit us. We have wonderful conditions here. Maybe when I say this, then there is one of your sisters called Vera Haibo. Vera did a PhD. She's an old Mawilian, very feisty, hardworking. She just finished a PhD in an aspect of law pertaining to gender and women at the University of Glasgow.
Oh, okay.
And when I come up with these outlandish dreams, skyscrapers on the beaches of Accra, right?
Okay.
We turn Qatar into Miami, right? then Vera and another brother in Glasgow called Kofi Tozuro, they will tell me, oh, we have settled now, we should lay the groundwork for our children to realize the dream. And I tell them, no, in our lifetime. So anytime Vera says, now she's teasing me, in our lifetime. I want to see all the good things we see in Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, everywhere. I want it in our lifetime.
Yeah, it will happen. It will happen. See, so this message is particularly to all the people watching us right now. You don't need to give up. The fact that you have the dream, keep it alive. Keep it alive and keep the faith forward whilst you are working towards it. Because as Uncle said, life will actually present to you all the natural things, the natural reasons why this thing cannot happen. Like you see, that is why people even call it miracle or supernatural. The person is in a wheelchair. How can the person in the wheelchair get up? But it gets to a point where you switch dimensions. I have been denied visa twice. Right, I've been denied visa twice. The second one was in a different country, flying to a different country to go have an interview. But I remember that time when it happened, my dad called me and I told my dad that I feel like this is it. God doesn't listen to me. Because, Uncle, I was actually fasting. in that period. So I was thinking that by doing this, God will have some mercy, and say, oh dear, he turned out bad. And I called my dad quickly just shut me up. He's like, keep quiet, because he realized that the things that I was about to utter, the things I was about to say, it wasn't going to be edifying. And I quickly grabbed the reason why he said that to me, and I stopped. That day, I remember after he said that to me, one tear just fell. I don't even know how it came. I was like, God, is this the story you are writing for me? Is this the destiny? The next dawn, I was on my way back to Ghana. I came back to Ghana. I'm like, okay, that's it. Right now, whatever God wants to do with my life, I decided to now seek for his kingdom rather than the other things, right? So I wasn't even praying for it. But lo and behold, one day, it was just in my passport. So if I was that kind of person that I gave it up, like, oh, it's too much for me, I wouldn't probably be here even talking with you. It would have been something else. So anybody who is listening to us, listen, if Uncle Ben can make it, if McRae can make it, you can also make it. The only thing you need is just to get the right information to help you out. Help you out.
Yeah,
yes, please, you can chip in. Yes.
We say these things, excuse me if they sound religious and super Christian to you. I'm begging you, pleading with you. This is the reality of my life. This is the reality of Chris' life. He was denied the visa to travel to the United States twice. Right now, he's speaking to us from South Dakota.
Yeah.
It's the fact that he was denied a visa. How did he defy that fact to be where he is now, and maybe God using him to do bigger things? Please, I want to share critical things. I like to write down my dream. There is something about whether it's a monthly goal or objective. What I'm saying sounds mundane and very finicky, but I keep a notebook. I put some of the dreams then get filtered down to my to-do list. I need to do this thing by today or by this date. I'm saying write down what you want to achieve this year. Even if you don't achieve it, it's not a big deal. Okay, writing it down has a certain spiritual impact. I think Habakkuk.
Yeah, it's a write the vision down. Write it down.
Habakkuk 2 says something about write the vision down. And I'm telling you, it is not magic, it is not juju, it is not voodoo. There is something about finding that notebook and going back to look at that notebook and say, God, I place this case before you. That by the time I am 35 or 45, help me to achieve these goals.
Help me, God.
Yes, Lord, I am selfish about this one or two, but Lord, maybe if you bless me, I'll be able to pay more school fees and help other people. I may even try and build a clinic but don't make a vow. Because if you to go, you're going to build a clinic. It's a vow you have to. But what I'm saying you is within the realm of possibility, have this thing written down. Number 2, whether you are a Christian or not, I find scripture, certain parts of scripture, very motivating. Every day, the Lord is my shepherd. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Even if you're not a Christian, there is something about these words, timeless words. And for me, one favorite one for me, McRae, I am not trying to Christianize anyone. I am just telling my truth, my story. Nobody is asking me. I'm telling you what has worked in an unfailing way for me. I am not where I desire to be yet, but I am not where I was before. I'm in a better place. And finally, this last scripture, please, Romans chapter 8. The whole chapter, anytime I am down, I can go into that part of scripture and I will feel quickly nourished. It's like a booster. And when you go into Romans 8, verse 28, it says clearly, and I've had to memorize this because it's become food that I can digest anytime. Romans 8:28 says, for we know that all things work together
for good.
For the good.
Those that love
of those who love God and are called according to his purpose.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense when you are going through crisis. It is only after crisis that you realize, oh, so all things were working together for my good.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. Hold on to faith about this word that, Lord, I have personalized this. Lord, I know that all things are working together for my good. I believe I love you, Lord. I believe I'm called according to your purpose. And then if you go further in Romans 8, verse 37, it talks about us being more than conquerors.
Yeah.
Okay, so you personalize these things. And in the meantime, you're studying hard, you're gathering all the information, you're doing all the normal things, but you are undergirding everything. It's like the songwriter says, something inside so there is something within you that refuses to give up, especially when you are pursuing a righteous God. One other point quickly. I think this has to be God because you mentioned fasting.
Yeah.
And tell everyone how fasting has been a sort of help to me. When I was at the BBC going for a promotion, I was fasting. It doesn't mean that you are fasting and just praying. You don't do the necessary work that must be done. Do what you need to do. But add to it fasting and praying. Fasting and praying, maybe God was trying to teach you a lesson. You don't go and fast and pray so you twist God's arms and say, God, look, I've just fasted 21 days and prayed. You have to give me this now. But fasting and prayer does something to us bigger than anything we can ask God for. For me, it changes me from within. It builds me up from within in my consciousness. If I'm struggling with certain habits or certain attitudes, maybe procrastination, fasting somehow galvanizes a certain power I cannot explain. If I can explain it, but I know fasting, whether for 1 day, whether for 3 days. So if somebody's listening and they may be thinking, oh, I'm not the fasting type, or maybe I have ulcers, I can't do fasting. If you go online, you can study. You can fast from 6 in the morning to 12 noon. And just immerse yourself and have a notebook and see what ideas God will be giving you during that period. Fasting has helped me. And then one last thing, McCray, every one of us, myself included, we need friends. We need not just any friends, we need godly friends. Can I say this again? In Qatar Secondary School, I became better at mathematics because one classmate, one friend called Innocent Wanya, showed me that beyond what we were doing in classroom, go and take this American math textbook during the vacation, work out the answers, look at the back of the book, and compare notes to see if you get it right. By the time I returned to school, I was able to be scoring 90, 94 in this math. This friend taught me how to study. I wasn't bad. You will be there saying, no, I'm not good in maths. All it needed is the key. So we need friends, right? Friends in the way that I'm going to say, and I'm not saying just go and be making friends, just 2, 3, 4 friends God provides for you, right? And I will give this as another example. Bishop T.D. Jakes says, if you are a David, you are not going to end up in the palace until you connect with your Jonathan. Every David that is going to be king and be something, God will set up people around you, 1 or 2 people, to make the way for you to enter the palace. Jonathan, who should have inherited the palace, knew within him, and he rather promoted David to become the shepherd boy king of Israel. Right now, I have 2 strong friends here. The house I am in here in Ghana, one of his friends built this house for me.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, look, I am going to embarrass him. His name is Kojo Mata. Kojo Mata from Way and went to school in Vui. He went to Kitasco 1 year behind me, used to admire me at the BBC, went on a Barclays in London, came to visit me at the BBC studios in London. I came home, I told him how somebody messed up my money and didn't put up whatever. And Kojo Mata, till this day, I know we all have bad experiences, but I would pray for the Kojo Mata kind of guy for everyone. Never ask me for money, just send the money. As an accountant, he calculated it. All I'm saying is, I need a friend God can, when I'm misbehaving, to say, brother, the way you were talking on McRae's program, you talk too much. Next time, maybe keep it short. Yeah, he can look me in the face and say, brother, you were too loud. Next time, do it this way.
Yeah.
God can use that person to reprimand me. Or let me flip it this way. McRae, this is the last point about friends. And I know the area of friends can be dicey, but I believe by God's grace that, what do we say? Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Daniel was not in the lion's den alone, was he? So sometimes faithful friends with you, you can do things that you think you could never do. I know sometimes friends can be bad and do other things, but we need friends. And one last thing, I think in the book of Mark, it tells the story of 4 friends who carried their paralytic friend
through the roof.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you getting the idea? It comes to a point you are paralyzed. You can't do anything. Your wife has done everything. People won't give up. But these people hear that there is a healer in town, and they decided, look, guys, come, let's go and carry this friend. And they carried this friend on a stretcher or whatever. Okay? And they took him to go and put before Jesus for healing, right? And when they got there, the place was packed. Do you know what I would have done, McRae? I would carry this friend back to the wife and the children and said, oh, we did our best. By the time we got there, the place was choked. We tried to move people, they wouldn't move. And so maybe another opportunity and try for our friend.
Wow.
These friends had so much faith. They were so determined. They went on the roof, broke the roof, incurred the cost of breaking the roof, and lowered this guy from the roof. So people were gathered around Jesus. Suddenly, the roof is messing up, and they lowered this paralytic man, and that is how the guy got his healing.
Yeah.
And my question, pray, am I the kind of friend who, when a brother or a sister is sick and at the point of death, and I hear that there is a healer in town, am I that kind of friend who will not just take them to the venue? And when I find the place choked, to walk away, but I would go above and beyond and say, okay, we will pay for the roof, we'll repair the roof later. But the well-being of this sister, this brother, is too important for us. Let's take him back home. We are not leaving until this healer is able to heal our friend.
Wow.
Am I the kind of friend for McRae or Kojo Mata? Kojo Mata calls me from New York and says, Ben, I need you by my side right here. Can I borrow money on credit card and take a ticket and fly over? Can I do that? And do you have a friend? Am I that kind of friend who would stop at nothing to seek the success and the well-being of a brother or a sister?
That's a great question. It is a great question. I'm actually inspired because most of the people that you have even spoken about, it's a great feeling that you have met them before. Like Kamla Dumo, you have interacted with this person. Bishop T.D. Jakes. I saw one picture of you and Bishop T.D. Jakes interacting. I was like, oh, okay. This man he's not just talking about a third party. These are the people that he has, in person, he has interacted with. And then he's sharing these stories with us. Am I not blessed? And then to our people who are watching, I just want you to take maybe 20 seconds or 30 seconds, do self-analyzation right now with the question that Uncle Ben asked. Are you that kind of friend for somebody Or is somebody that kind of friend for you that probably maybe you pick up your phone, sorry, but you just like, oh, you mistakenly got arrested or something just happened. I need you to come to this police station right now. Like, or I need this money at this point. Like, do you really have that person in your life right now that can just come to you that, hey, I'm here to just help my brother out? Like, do you have people like that in your life to do that for you? If you don't have people like that in your life, that means that there is a problem. Apostle Oropo will say that when you find people who are like they genuinely love you, put pride aside and invest everything or anything to keep these people in your life. So this is some of the things that you need to as a youth, you're growing up, these are some of the things, because we are all like ladder, the step in the ladder. You climb somebody helping you to climb somebody, that is how we need to work or walk here in life. Uncle Ben, I'll just come to you. So I don't know if you still remember how your visa process went for you. Was it disturbing before getting to UK to further your education? Was it a disturbing moment for you?
No. Listen, there is no lesson here except for the grace of God. Once I had a scholarship from University of Ghana, and I have my school application from Glasgow University. You just go to the American High Commission here, and pronto, you got your thing gone.
So you had no interview?
No, I didn't have a problem. I was never bounced. You see, some of us have been spoiled by grace. I think it just occurred to me. No. It just occurred to me that some of us have been spoiled by grace. What some people did 3 times before they succeeded, we just went through 1 time. And we take it for granted. It's not granted that but because University of Ghana has given me a scholarship, I have admission letter from the University of Glasgow. The visa became automatic, no queue, no nothing. I think I queued, it was just for a few minutes to present it, and they say, come back tomorrow for your thing. And the same thing happened. So I am not, forgive me, in terms of praying for things, I have never prayed for visa.
My God.
I'm sorry. I didn't fast for visa like you did.
Wow.
Yeah. It sounds, I am giving glory to God that I have learned not to take these things for granted. The more I hear other people's stories, the more I know that some of us were being spoiled by grace.
But Uncle, would you say that probably is the system? Maybe, in the past, maybe COVID wasn't there to change the way that things were happening. And then, because, which year was that? In which year was that?
If I tell you the year, you will be telling me you were not born then.
Maybe I was born, maybe 1991.
The first time I traveled by air, which was to travel from Accra to London and to Glasgow, was in June, on the 12th of June, 1992.
The next month I was born. No, so I was born in August of that same year. So it means that just the next 1 month.
You were not born. Just be straight to the point. I hope Reverend Soga is not on the phone to put it to you that you were not born at that time. Yeah. So, let me say that things were easier then because there wasn't that pressure with many people going abroad, and also with many fake things happening and wrong ways of application. And when you were genuine, University of Ghana, University of Glasgow, your path was easier. So much so that later on, when the BBC called me back to come to the BBC, it was also easier. The BBC No, hold on. I'm giving you the wrong thing. So the first time I went to the UK was August 1987. That even makes it. You were conceived in the womb of time in God's own consciousness.
Glory.
I entered University of Glasgow, 88, 89, I was all in Glasgow. And I remember, so 87, that's when I was going for my master's. But June 12, 92 was when the BBC sent me 3 or 4 things. The BBC sent me a ticket. The BBC sent me an employment letter. The BBC sent me a work permit.
Wow.
And the BBC sent me some fourth thing.
Wow.
And again, seeing being spoiled by grace, I didn't suffer or struggle for any of these things. And these things came and say, come back and work with us. So to God be the glory. Other people struggle, and there are things I struggle with, but this is my story. This is my song, praising the Lord all day long.
Wow. So, but I don't think by now the system is still the same, Uncle. Like people who probably want to travel okay, now UK is not part of Europe because of the Brexit. So maybe they want to go to UK or go to Germany to study and stuff like that. I'm not sure the process is still like that. Like just present your document.
I think it's more rigorous. It's more rigorous. I know the US with COVID and other things.
Yeah.
Some people, I know of a sister here who needed to come and do a PhD in Florida. And she got the admission for September, and they were giving her a date for interview in November or something. Which eventually, by the grace of God, Phoebe is right now in the US completing her PhD and doing well. All right. But again, this is where you have to believe that no matter how tough the process is, even if I find 13 people in front of me bounced or rejected, I am going to be the one who begins the acceptance process. All right. You just have to keep on. God will make a way where there seems to be
no way. Yeah. That is so beautiful.
That until one day it happens.
Yeah. That is so beautiful. People are here watching that. Somebody says that with God all things are possible. Somebody says, great Uncle Ben is so blessed yet humble. Wow, that is a great thing, and I agree with you. So somebody says God will guide us through. That is true. That is true. And someone says that follow who know road. That is so true. That is so true. And then somebody says that he keeps acknowledging God in his journey. Yes, that is true. Sachofia says that money is no longer a problem, and that is so true. He then again says that conceive it, believe it, and make it happen. Blessings. God bless you. And then my sister here, she is saying that there is a purpose for everyone, and I agree with you. There is a purpose for everyone. Somebody says okay, I don't know if I get this correct, but it says yes, there are many information leading to such opportunities becomes the challenge. I don't know if I get that clearly, but my brother, please help me out. Somebody here saying, okay, man is saying that I'm not a loser. That is true. Somebody says that there will be, okay, one day I will study in the US. That is it. Now write this vision plainly. Bible says you should write it plainly. Write it down and pray over it all the time. All the time, and you make it happen. And then somebody says that keep your faith and continue working towards it, and that is true. Godly friends, godly good friends, godly good friends. That is it. Somebody says the McRae, with many admissions in the state, I have been denied this F1 visa. Though I haven't given up, I need a guide. Okay, I need a guide to overcome this. Kindly assist. God bless you and Uncle Ben in advance. Okay, just get in touch. I'll see whatever guidance you need to help you throughout the entire thing. Okay, let's see how we can help you with that. The other comment here, somebody is saying that, oh, is it spoiled by grace? That is interesting. Somebody is also saying that great grace, for God all things are possible. I have another one here saying that always good to follow due process and be genuine. That is it. Thank you so much. Uncle Ben, you had the chance to visit Haiti, to visit Pakistan, and many other, how do I put it? Uncle, how do I describe it? Is it a challenging country or challenging environment?
Let me put it this way. Under the banner of the United Nations, I was assigned to Liberia, where I served for 2 years as the UN spokesperson in Liberia for 2 years. When I finished, I was called back to UN headquarters in New York, and I was placed in the office of the spokesperson for the Secretary General.
Mm.
It was during one of those times that the Haiti earthquake happened. I didn't actually travel to Haiti. I would love to go to Haiti because there is so much in common in people in Haiti and us, especially those of us from Ghana, West Africa, coastal areas have a lot in common with people in Haiti.
Mm.
And so if you look online, you'll probably see me in an interview on BBC talking about the situation in Haiti. That was when I was an associate spokesperson for the UN Secretary General, and we had to convey the sad news. Then whilst I was there, in fact, before Liberia, an earthquake happened in Pakistan in October 2005.
Okay.
And I was called upon to serve as a UN humanitarian spokesperson, and I traveled to Pakistan. I spent 3 months in Pakistan. When I meet Pakistanis now, we bond very easily because I can mention the towns. It's like somebody comes to tell you, I've been in Ghana, I was in Agbozuma, I was in Ipe, I was in Tumu, I was in this. They are not just centered around Accra. So Pakistan, we were using helicopters trying to help the survivors of the earthquake.
Wow.
So I was UN humanitarian spokesperson in Pakistan. I picked up a few words like Shukriya is thank you.
Oh, Shukriya.
Yes. Shukriya is thank you very much. Yes, when I meet Pakistanis in New York, they light up. How did you know this? And suddenly this African guy, we bond, you know? And then lately, until a year ago, I was in South Sudan, serving as the Director of Strategic Communications for the UN mission over there. Again, I am blessed that through the UN, I've been able to go to these places. Many times it's hard work. Sometimes you leave your family behind. But I would just say a couple of things about South Sudan, concerning South Sudan and Ghana and Africa. Because I have this Nkrumah mindset that the independence of Ghana was meaningless unless it was linked up with the total liberation of the entire African continent. When you have that mindset, when you are helping people in South Sudan, you just know that you are helping fellow brothers and sisters. No matter what their level of development and conditions, you see them truly as brothers and sisters whom Nkrumah would have fought for. Number one. Number two, I go to South Sudan and I find out from one of their diplomats, one of the directors in the foreign ministry, that Kwame Nkrumah was the first African leader who supported them, the dark-skinned Southern Sudanese, when they were all one part of Sudan, and helped them actualize their dreams to avoid the second-class citizenship they were being given. He told me Kwame Nkrumah supported our movement, which was called Anyanya One. I think we can Google this. I was told this by a South Sudanese leader. And one last thing to shock anybody, and for you to see, when you hear things going wrong in South Sudan, don't think, oh, these are people, they don't understand. They are your brothers and sisters. Let me tell you why. The hero and founder of South Sudan, everybody acknowledges, was Dr. John Garang. Dr. John Garang got his PhD not from some fake university. He came and studied either agric economics, maybe in one of those Midwestern states. So he was a real intellectual, genuine, worked for his PhD, proper PhD. And Dr. Garang, you know, he died before the nation could come into being. He died in an accident, a helicopter crash. And when I went to South Sudan, as a Ghanaian, sometimes you're working as a UN official, and you need something to break the ice with our South Sudanese brothers and sisters. Only for me to find out that Dr. John Garang, the hero of South Sudan, was for many years traveling on a Ghanaian passport.
Whoa! On a Ghanaian passport?
Yeah. I say this for us to have that Africanness, that sense of unity. And I'm not talking about hearsay, I'm talking about fact, and I'm going to blow your mind further. So I heard this from a diplomat to say, it looks like the late Jerry Rawlings, who saw ahead and gave Dr. John Garang a Ghanaian passport. So when you hear these things, you don't want to quickly come and say, oh, this and this. I waited until I met the widow of the man, Sister Rebecca, Madam Rebecca, the widow of John Garan. And when she met me like an informal small chat, she said, oh, you are the new director of communications for the UN in South Sudan. I said, yes. He said, oh, and where are you from? And she behaved like one of my own sisters, that even with all due respect, I could say, oh, Your Excellency, maybe you should guess. And she laughed. She said, oh, if you leave it to me, I'll probably say Nigeria. So I said, no, you are close. Many people mistake me for a Nigerian, maybe because I am so loud, and some people claim my physique resembles a Nigerian. Even Ghanaians in New York and declare me a Nigerian. So she said, oh, you are from Ghana. And she said, oh, my husband, this is the way. She flipped her hand like that. My husband spent a lot of time in your country.
Wow.
So as if I knew what I had heard, then I then went to say, oh, Mama Rebecca, what do you mean he spent? He said, oh, because you people gave him your passport.
Hey.
So I am hearing this story not from outsiders and it's conjecture and it's a lie. I'm hearing from the widow of the man.
Wow.
He's gratefully saying that Ghana gave a passport to my husband, John Garan, who was fighting for the freedom of South Sudan. So I say these things because, again, under the great grace of God, I got an opportunity to work in these environments. And if Kwame Nkrumah were to be alive, he would be proud that, oh, he's helped create these Ghanaians who can go to South Sudan, not just work as UN staff, but work as brothers and sisters whose success is dependent on how successful our South Sudanese brothers and sisters become.
Wow.
Yeah.
One people, same word, one people. That's why Lucky Dube did a song says that different colors, yet still we are all just one people. Uncle, so I mentioned to you that if you may have some ideas, maybe some funding opportunities, some scholarship opportunities, maybe somebody just needs some sort of heads up. Do you have any idea of any opportunity you think maybe a youth or a prospective student, maybe somebody going to the UK to school, maybe University of Glasgow, coming to the States to further their education? You know, do you think of maybe, or do you know of any of the scholarships that any student, prospective, they can just, you know, explore just to, as a way of furthering their education? I know that we can talk about Get Fund in Ghana, but I don't know what is the status of that right now, because at my time, I think I tried applying, but the process was just getting so long, and I just didn't. I finally had to give up like that. But apart from that, also, but you may have some idea about that. I don't know if the GNPC, even from students from Ghana, I don't know if that is still working well. I don't know. Maybe you have some information, but apart from that, too, if you know of any other opportunity that a student can explore, please bless us with any of the, the advices that you have for us.
Thank you, brother. Number one, I am pleading with anyone desiring to get a scholarship to come and study abroad. Don't sit on your hands.
Okay.
Okay. Do all the best that is within your means to do. You mentioned Get Fund in Ghana. You mentioned NPC. Those local things, find out all the information and take action and cast your bread upon the waters. Go to these places and say, look, I'm doing this course that is going to be relevant to Ghana in agro-business. And I need you to help me to get the scholarship to come abroad. So number one, start from home. Start from Get Fund. Start from GNPC scholarship. Start from the master, is it the MasterCard? Okay. I think there is a MasterCard Foundation scholarship. Google these things right now, wherever you are, either on your phone or on your laptop. And then go for the Chevening scholarship, which is given for people who want to go to the UK. Those three areas, they are very good starting points. I was only concerned that Get Fund, in particular, those who were there, it felt as if Get Fund was being used by the previous government to
Political.
award
Yeah.
It should never be. If I am in class with somebody, I don't care whether they are from Tumu or Tamale or Tema. But if they are the best to get the scholarship, they will get the scholarship. In the end, it will benefit all of us. It should not be based on the fact that you belong to a certain political party and you don't belong to a certain. This person deserves this to go and be a better Ghanaian, a better African, a better civil servant, public servant to come help the people. So that start from home. And then number two, I mentioned that follow who know road. In our lives, if we look around, we will know one or two people who have earned scholarships and are probably in Germany, the UK, Europe, even China, or in the US. Find one person who either through Facebook was here with us last year and right now is studying for his or her master's. Contact them. Do your homework. If your heart is pure, your intentions are clear, your dream is God-driven, God will provide people to help you realize the dream in a way that I cannot explain. All right? And then number three, you can go to the UK British, what is it called? British Council.
Okay.
Right? Go to the British Council. And this is where we have to learn to take initiative. Go to the British Council and say, I am here. Can I talk to an official who can guide me about scholarship possibilities? You will find somebody. Even in the American embassy, I'm sure there is a section that helps people with educational opportunities. Okay, so you can go to, when I was growing up, there was a US Information Center.
Is it Education USA?
Yeah, we used to go and watch recorded news, Peter Jennings, ABC. That was the sort of only TV, and that was the only closeness we could feel about America. All I'm saying is talking about things you can do literally now. Now, one last point. If you're on Facebook, somebody can say, well, I don't like Facebook. But on Facebook, I have met Ghanaian brothers and sisters, some of them in Canada, some in the US, some in the UK, who are so willing for no money. They are not asking for money. They don't want to swindle you. They are offering solid, excellent details, helping people just don't suffer the same things we suffer through, cut through the chase and come here. So do that online. Finally, when I was growing up, there was something called COMSOL. I don't know why COMSOL, but it's all about we are in University of Ghana or Cape Coast or Tech, and we are struggling to find information about schools abroad that can take us for our masters. It is all research. Sometimes the research you are doing, somebody has already done it, and you can just pick the rapport or the information from them and what they have used to end up in Harvard University or Yale University. They can say, so again, follow someone who knows road.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Otherwise, you can go online, Google and fiddle and get information.
Yeah.
But I am reminded of what our brother John Akweda, who is pursuing his PhD now in Florida, said. And he said it emphatically, and somebody else supported him. Money is no longer the problem.
Yeah.
Stopping you from gaining a scholarship or admission to come abroad and do what you need to do. If you would pay attention, get the right information, and keep on trying, keep on asking around, sooner rather than later, we are not saying coming to the US is heaven, but you would keep that dream. And when you acquire the knowledge and expertise, you can bring it back home and plant in the soil of homeland Ghana.
Yes, thank you so much, Uncle. So we've spoken about exploring what we have very close to us, right? Maybe Get Fund, DNPC. Those are the things that, at least for now, we know that we have back home, that is in Ghana, that students can actually explore. But when you move beyond the borders of Ghana, we're talking about maybe MasterCard Foundation that a student can explore. I think you mentioned one called the Chevening also, that a student can also explore. And then the British Council, you can just also approach or just get in there, find out if you need to book an appointment before you go there, so that you don't just get there and then you are asked to just return home. And then sometimes you can connect with people who are already here. And then one thing that Uncle, I want to add to is that you can actually reach out to these schools just to find out if they have some funding for a particular program that you want to pursue, maybe in the UK, in Europe, or in the US. Just try to get to that. It will help you so much. So, Uncle, one thing I would just want to plead with you is some of the people who have shared some of the information with you, they are already here in the US, and then they have been through these processes. I will please ask that if you can put me in contact with them. Sometimes you just have them, maybe even to join me on the live session sometime if they want, or maybe sometimes you even exchange email contact. They can share with me sometimes some of the resources. Then I can also, my team and I, we can do an entire video about trying to explain this detail to some of these students. They want to come and further their education in the UK or in the US, or maybe somewhere in Europe too. So I'll please crave on your indulgence. If you have some time, you can please connect me with those people so that I share some of those information with them as well. That will help. Somebody put up a comment, Uncle. The person says that
right now, McRae.
Yes, Uncle.
Right now, I'm going to put in our private chat a link to the MasterCard. This is the good thing. Oh, okay. I will send you some links to the MasterCard Foundation scholarship.
Okay.
All right. And also the Chevening. So we are not just talking in the air. We are going to try and make these things real. I'm going to give you the MasterCard Scholars Program. I will put it in the private chat.
Yes, I can also share it on the screen. Yes.
I was trying to share via YouTube, but I have to register on YouTube, and I don't want to risk anything now. So if you go there now, you can copy the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship. We are talking about things that work. We are not sending you down a rabbit hole. Then I mentioned the Chevening Scholarship. Again, I'm going to put that in the. I will, please forgive me if I'm a little bit distracted because
that's okay. I'm trying to share the link also. So, viewers, what you can see on the screen right now, the Foundation.
But basically, if anybody goes into Google and they Google Chevening, 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 if you do that, you are going to find yourself this scholarship that is advertised every year, and you can take advantage of it.
Okay.
It's highly okay. I see you are showing the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program.
Yes.
Chevening as well, you will just see over there. So those are the things to share. And then in due course, you and I will link you up with Dr. John Akweda. He's doing his PhD now. And also Dr. Selikam Gota. Selikam Gota actually gave me an interview about how to go about these scholarships.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do, again, trying to do multitasking, which I may not be very good at, is to find, he gave me a 5-minute interview about how we could go about securing the kinds of scholarships we need. Yeah.
That'll work. So, Uncle, I think when we connect with them, we can also that video, maybe you can also share it with me, and I'll also share with our audience.
I am just looking for the link. It is here. It's on my Facebook page. If you search for Selikam Gota and then Dotsei Malor, you are going to find the kind of thing I'm talking about. But I'll put the link in the private chat. So for anybody who has access to Facebook, you will see my interview with Selikam, and we take it up from there.
Thank you so much, Uncle. That is a good one. Somebody sent a comment that I'm so distracted about at this moment. The person says that Get Fund is distributed based on party colors. I need more in the US. Wow, this is from Soso Robert D. And this is so saddening at this point that Get Fund that is supposed to be for any, let me say, brilliant but needy student to help shape their future, it has turned to something that is politicized, and it is not supposed to be. So does it mean that you are forced to get yourself in alignment to any or some other political party before you are able to enjoy something like that in Ghana? It is not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be. However, I will still advise that, listen, give it a try and let us know the report that is on ground. Give it a try.
Yes.
Just get to their office or pick up your phone and call them. Whatever the information you have received or you've been able to gather, revert to us and let us know what you have been, the information that has been given to you. Let us know about it. If we need to put it up and fight for it, we will gladly do that, because this is not supposed to be so. Because, Uncle, I have a lot of people from Asia studying here in my school, particularly from India. Most of them, they are from some of these things from their country. They're from, I mean, the India, they have some sort of this scholarship, even some of these loans, and it is not like politicized in any case. Not in any case. So far as you come and then they know that you are a student, you are eligible to travel to further to, I mean, have your education done, they will give this loan to you, no matter your political affiliation. And that is why a country like that, they will always, I don't know, they will always excel.
Can I say something?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, let me just say, I was about 3 months ago at an event in New Jersey, addressed by this wonderful Nigerian political leader called Peter Obi.
I know Peter Obi, yep.
Peter Obi, that many believed had the leadership, the selflessness, and the sacrificial bent, even though he was rich and well-to-do, could make dramatic impact in the lives of people. And Peter Obi said something. The substance of what Peter Obi was saying is, corruption totally undermines enterprise. Corruption totally undermines meritocracy. The same thing you are saying now. When we politicize certain key parts of our national structure, most times you're not getting the best person to be in the right position to lift all of us up. Let's say you and I in class, McRae, I am good, but you are definitely better. All of us in the class know we are better. And when an opportunity comes, because you are wearing white and somebody has something against those who wear white, they bypass you and come and pick me. I will do well. I will do my best. But we are losing our best talent with on merit. And apparently those things happen in our military. Our brother Manasseh Azuri was telling me, and he wrote it in his book, The President Ghana Never Got or something, page 187.
Yeah.
That even in the Ghana military, maybe until this week when there has been a change of government, from the rank of lieutenant colonel upwards, if you did not show your party membership card, you didn't get promoted. I digress. But what I'm telling you is a fact. If you get Manasseh's book, go to page 187. And when he said it first, I said, no, we can't say this publicly. He said, no, I can be, because I have the right sources who are telling me the reality of what is there. So for me, I am against corruption. I am against the politicization of key institutions that should function well for all of us. It doesn't matter whether you belong to NPP, CPP, or NDC. If among three of us, you are the best person to solve Ghana's doomsaw problem, just go ahead. Let's all support you. In any case, when we go to medical doctors, do we find out which of the medical doctors is MPP, NDC, or CPP? Then we line up and go to the ones that align with our policy. No, the doctors will treat all of us. The lecturers in the university will lecture all of us to succeed without checking or who is voting for this. So there is something debased about the whole thing, and something we need to work against so that we are shooting ourselves in the foot. Anytime by using tribalism, political partyism, or using cronyism, and then we deny people their opportunities and end up not putting the right persons in the right place. We have work to do.
We have work to do. Uncle, we have just about 3 minutes to wrap up. I just want to get your last comment about, anything that you want to share, particularly maybe to the youth, because right now they are the people who, no matter what the situation is, we are the people who are going to lead the country in the future. So we need some of those advices from you guys you've been through a lot of things. You are seeing how things are currently going, and then you can probably perceive how things may end. So far as it's a baton. You're handing over this baton to us. You need to make sure that we run this race well and end it well too. So please share with us, what do you think? A youth is there listening. What is happening now in my country? Maybe Ghana, Nigeria, any other part of the world. I want to it's okay. Just give up. It is what it is. It is what it is. But we don't want the youth to get to that point. We don't want to get to that point. What can you share just in the next 1 minute, and that we are able to please bring it to a close?
Are you sure you have 1 minute for me?
Yes, I have 1 minute, sir.
I was with Wodemaya. Wodemaya invited me out for a meal. I was with Wodemaya when you called to remind me. I was in East Legon. You reminded me. I had to find the quickest way from East Legon to Bachona. And here is what Wodemaya has done. In fact, after talking to you, to save time, I'm just going to post a video where he was passionately and desperately saying, you in the diaspora, you need to come back. And I was saying, no, people, we bought land, people stole the land. We did this, they cheated us, our own family members did this. He says, no, that's true. But in the diaspora, when you go and acquire your studies, you're going to be a much better person when you come back and apply. And he was adamant he would not take any of my excuses. So in a nutshell, watch Wodemaya, or in the next 10 minutes, go to my Facebook page, and I'm dedicating that passionate conversation, compelling conversation from Wodemaya. Let me just end it there. I will put, this will answer many questions. It's going to be on my Facebook page within the next 15 minutes.
Yes. Wow. Thank you so much, Uncle. I'll just wrap up with my people here, and then I'll quickly just get back to you. Thank you so much, Uncle, for everything. We appreciate your precious time with us.
Always welcome. To God be the glory.
You. Amen and amen. Wow, what another wonderful session that we had today. It's been a blessing, and a blessing. If you're a youth, you're watching me, just listen, just look at me, because I can be a source of hope to you. If I'm able to make it, Uncle Ben has been able to make it, and everybody, bro, you can also make it. With God on your side, you can also make it. So no matter what the challenges are, just keep the hope alive. Keep the hope alive as you are working towards it. As As my gift to you, anybody who is watching today, one gentleman who says that he needs thorough guidance because he doesn't know where to go to or how to go about it. My gift to you, maybe together with Uncle Ben, I'm going to provide this guidance to you. You want to go through and ace your visa interview. I'm going to be here. You are asking me about how to get in touch, right? So I'm going to type, or let me just mention my email address to you. It's mcraysoga@gmail.com. mcraysoga@gmail.com. You can also see the description of my YouTube channel. I have all my contact details there that you can get in touch with me. That is going to be my gift to you, all right? I'll help to get you with this mock interview. Whatever that you need, I'll be able to help you, because I also needed somebody like this in the past. And why wouldn't that be a blessing to you, as I also am in need of it? So please remember, first, you are first of all a Ghanaian before a politician or any other thing. So let you being a Ghanaian, please let that one come first before any political party or whatever it is. You are first of all a Ghanaian. You are first of all a Ghanaian. So please fight for the entirety. I mean, Ghana first before you're fighting for somebody because the person is an NDC, is an MPP, is a CPP, whatever PP it is. Please, the problems are too much because it's also a P. Please. You are first of all.
Look beyond Ghana. Look beyond Ghana. Look at Africa.
Look beyond Ghana. Yes.
There is a whole continent. Instead of you going to work somewhere in Europe, Congo alone can create jobs.
Yes.
If Nigeria is functioning well, there will be jobs in Nigeria.
Yes.
There are South Sudan alone. If you are a Ghanaian teacher, a Ghanaian nurse, and a Ghanaian doctor, if they have peace, you don't need to come to the US to thrive. You can be working well, improving lives in South Sudan and doing well. We don't have to go to a Bruchiri or a Blechi before we do, or Yavoda. All things are possible.
So guys, everybody, so far as you have the dream alive, you have God on your side, you can make it. I want to say thank you. That is my beautiful language. I love to share it with my people. And so we will meet again. I'll be connecting with the uncle. There are a lot of people that we want to bring online to be a blessing to you. All the scholarship will bring the people who have they've been part of it. They know the way. They know how to work around it. I'm going to connect with the Uncle Ben and then have them join me live, and then so that we can put up the questions that you guys want to. Or you need the answers to. So once again, thank you so much. Please, all of you, help me say thank you and God bless you to Uncle Ben. He's been a great blessing to you and I. From America, this man is in Ghana. Yes, still had to escape somebody just to speak to me. I mean, how beautiful. It says, or it tells how passionate this man is about things that will give God a glory. If he has to do about youth, he is passionate about it. So please, let's not take all this moment for granted at all. Once again, I want to say thank you so much. No matter whatever it is that you are going through, remember that there is God. If there is a man to pray, there is a God to answer. Jesus love everybody. Thank you so much. I'll be back on your show, on your screen next time. And then please remember to subscribe. If you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, please remember to get to YouTube and also hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you on the other side. God loves you, all of you. Bye-bye. The 2 bags I brought you.